All right, we are live. What is up, everybody? What is good, YouTube? What is good, gamers? It is your boy Lincoln Clay coming back at you with a late night live stream. Do me a favor, hit the like button, help spread my content to a wider audience, and make sure you hit the bell icon, help spread my. Make sure you stay notified when I upload new content. I would appreciate that as well. Damn, I'm so tired, I can't even think straight. And if you are a new subscriber to the channel, welcome to the channel. Hope you're enjoying the content. So I just wanted to, hey, what's up, uncompetitive? I'm tired. I'm just trying to get a quick live stream in real quick. Um, I didn't get a chance to make that God of War impressions video for obvious reasons. I mean, I spent the whole weekend playing that game. It was basically play the game, pass out, wake up, play the game, pass out, wake up, and so forth. And then, and then I had my son over this weekend. Not to mention I had to work Saturday as well. So I worked 6 days this week. So I put in a lot of hours at work. And so started with the God of War impressions. So Thursday at midnight when the game unlocked, I stayed up for a couple of hours and played the game, stayed up till about 2 in the morning. I had to be at work at 6. So no Nintendo LeBeau. No, God of War all the way. So so as I was saying, I was Thursday night when God of War unlocked. I played it for a couple hours. Only got about 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep before I had to go to work. So I get out of work, and the first thing I do when I get out of work is start playing God of War. Didn't even make it to the gym. So I'm taking what was supposed to be a 1 hour nap. I played God of War for about 4 hours after I got out of work. I got out of work 3:30 Eastern time, played till about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I took what was supposed to be a 1 hour nap. Next thing you know, the alarm went off and I had to get up and go to work Saturday morning. So I get out of work, and the first thing I do is go pick up my son. And that's where I made the road trip video, which came out terrible because I ran through too many spots where there was a bad signal. But I was trying to kill two birds with one stone, get my God of War impressions while I was on my way to pick up my son. So I pick him up, I come home, and guess what I did? Started playing God of War. And I pretty much played it until I was pretty much fell asleep with the controller in my hand. And so played it again today. Same stuff, play, pass out, wake up, play, pass out, wake up. And because of that, I never got a chance to make the God of War impressions video. But truth be told, it was probably for the better that I did not make that video, because I would not have been able to give it the touch that I wanted. I had the gameplay recorded, and I wanted to use the God of War music, but that's already been done. Jay Wags has a video out where he's using the God of War music and giving his impressions. It's a pretty good video, so you should check that out when you get a chance. And and I wouldn't, for the most part, I wouldn't be saying anything that hasn't already been said. The general consensus is that this is the best looking game of the generation, and for some people like me, it's the best game that they've ever seen. I don't game on the PC. I don't have a $1,500 rig, and a lot of the games that I saw on PC that I have seen on PC were indie games. So yeah, God of War was the best looking game that I've ever seen. And as far as I'm going to talk just a little bit about the gameplay. The gameplay, I love the combat. And I love the axe. I was immediately fell in love with the axe. You throw it and call it back to you. But I don't think this is a spoiler alert, but everybody knows that as you progress in the game, you're going to need to upgrade that axe, add some perks to it, because as you progress in the game, the enemies get tougher and tougher. Some of them are so quick that they can evade the axe, and some of them they can block the axe, and some of them the axe just has no effect on them in terms of throwing it at them. So you have to upgrade the axe. But once you upgrade that axe and you start getting some more moves and you start stringing together combos, it's like some of the most savage shit, in a video game. I mean, Kratos is just absolutely savage with that axe. And as far as the story goes, everybody pretty much knows the story. His mother passed. They're going to take her ashes to the highest mountain, and and along the way they start building the father-son relationship. This everybody everybody pretty much knows that. Everybody seen that through the trailers, so that's not a spoiler alert. Um, but it is a great story. Um, I absolutely love this game. I have not been able to put it down. Um, the game, for the most part, is a perfect 10, but I don't, give out a perfect 10 because there are some people that just don't believe that there's such thing as a perfect 10. So for the sake of not saying that it's a perfect 10, I give the game a 9.99999 infinite. It is an amazing game, and I just can't get enough of it. The biggest thing I want to talk about, as far as that game goes, is that yeah, I hope that wasn't a spoiler alert, but yeah, that's pretty much well known throughout. This leading up to this game, there was several trailers, and at least one of those trailers explained that they were, where they were going, why they were going to the highest mountain, and so, but this game needed to happen. This game needed to have the success it did this weekend because you're not getting the game. Oh, I mean, I can't knock you if you're not going to get the game. But I think it's an amazing game, and I don't know. Whoever, if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. But I still think it's an amazing game, and if anybody is curious about the game, I would definitely recommend that they play the game. Hey, there's some games that I'm not that good at uncompetitive, but they intrigue me enough that I'm still willing to play it anyway. Um, with me, as far as a lot of games, um, you bought Hellblade and couldn't finish it. I'll eventually get around to Hellblade, but right now, uh, God of War is taking precedence over all these games. I haven't touched anything since God of War came out, but getting back to what I was saying about this game, the biggest reason why I wanted to talk about with this game is that it needed to happen. It needed to be successful, like it was, because you had uh, EA and Microsoft and whoever else trying to imply that people don't buy single player games the way they used to. They don't play them the way they used to. Amy Hennig tried to suggest that you know people don't buy them; they just watch walkthroughs on YouTube or Twitch, and then that's their version of playing the game. So I feel like I didn't really care for her. That I don't really care for the direction that she went in saying something like that because while it may be true that a lot of people do watch walkthroughs, and that may deter them from buying the game, but at the same time, someone may watch a walkthrough for only a few minutes, and it may prompt them to buy the game. So um, you can't say that one is going to happen without saying that the other can happen. And so it's been on both ends for me. I've watched games. I've watched the complete walkthrough and elected not to buy it. But there was also games that I only saw a couple of minutes of it, and it was enough to compel me to go buy the game. So I've been on both sides of that. So I don't think she can. Uncompetitive, some of the live, some of the walkthroughs. What's up, Savage? What's going on? Some of the walkthroughs that I've watched, they were games that I knew I had no interest in buying them. But I was still curious about the story. So I watched it. But God of War was one of those games that I made it a point to stay away from the walkthroughs. I made it a point to stay away from the reviews. Um, the live streams, the reaction videos. I made it a point to stay away from that. Because I knew this was a game that I wanted to experience, 100%. I didn't, want to be, I didn't want to get hit by any spoiler alerts where I'm coming up on something and it's like, oh, I saw this on so and so's video. I didn't want any of that. But getting back to what I was saying about this narrative from people like EA and Microsoft believing that people aren't playing single player story driven games anymore, that's just those greedy bastards pushing their narrative of wanting multiplayer games so they can have their reoccurring revenue, so they can get their monthly revenue. Build a game once and then collect money off of it for the next 5-10 years or whatever. That's their goal. But the success of Horizon Zero Dawn, the success of Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, and I know that I think God of War is going to surpass the success of Horizon Zero Dawn. That shows you that single player games are alive and well, and we need this to happen. They obviously must be alive and well, because Sony wouldn't be taking so many chances and let these creators, these developers, be so creative if they didn't believe there was a market for these single player games. And I really appreciate Sony for that. And I really do, because I am still of the belief that when it comes to a game, the campaign, the story is still still a feature part of the game, and the multiplayer is just an added bonus. That's the way I felt when I first saw the first Gears of War. I was interested in the campaign. That's why I bought the game. That's what blew me away about the game: the graphics, the campaign, the story. I thought it was an amazing story, and then to me, the multiplayer was an added bonus, like a reward for completing the campaign. You said the problem with monetized multiplayer games is that they're all in competition with each other for player population, and you get big failures like Lawbreakers. Hey, I agree 100%, because with a lot of these first-person shooter games, you see one of them, you've seen one, and you've seen them all. It's a trillion of them out there, and as far as with like first-person shooters, I would probably say, in some sense, every game is different because you're playing against live people and everybody plays different. But at the same time, it's the same shit, because with there being no campaign, basically your goal is to try to get the most kills. And after a while, that's going to get old. Like Star Wars Battlefront, two things made me stop playing that game. One was EA fucked the game up with an update they came out with, and it affected the soldier class that I was using. I was using the heavy class, and that update that they put out basically shortened the time that I could use my minigun. I could use that minigun for about maybe 20 seconds or something like that. With the update that EA came out with, that I could only fire the minigun for about 5 seconds, and everything else in the soldier class I had unlocked. So there was no motive to play the game anymore. So I haven't touched Star Wars Battlefront shit in about 2-3 months. Battlefield 1, the same thing. I play in the sniper class. I've unlocked everything there is unlocked in the sniper class. So the only thing left to play for is yeah, but you're gonna get a lot of that, especially with EA. God knows how many updates they've sent through. Like, I was a big fan of the Fight Night franchise, and that is definitely one of the games that they always send some kind of update through, uh, changing the flow of the game. If chess or baseball was changed in midseason, I didn't know there was a season for chess, to tell you the truth, but you know, I guess sports and in the video game industry is two different things. Um, there ain't no such thing as an update coming out in the middle of a baseball season. But if they change the rules in the middle of a baseball season, yeah, that'd be fucked up. You know, yeah, if the game is totally broken, yeah, I can understand an update. But I don't know. For the most part, when I buy a game, um, if I like the game, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. But Fatal Mephisto, the Canadian grizzly bear, just trying to sneak in one. I don't plan on being up too late, but I just wanted to sneak in a God of War impressions and video live stream. But more than anything, as I was saying, I wanted to talk about why we need oh man, God of War is just an amazing game, but it's like I said, we needed this game to be successful. Um because it will keep single player games alive and well for years to come. We needed that. Um, I think Detroit Become Human is going to be successful, but I definitely think Spider-Man has the potential to surpass whatever success the God of War has, and we need that. Um, like I said, because I'm still in favor of campaigns. I'm still in favor of story driven games, and with this God of War game, because of the skill tree and the perks and upgrading your weapons and learning new combos and different moves, the game will keep you entertained for quite a while. Um, I would I would probably say that um, depending on the game, I might put in more time on a single player game than I would a multiplayer game. Um, I watched the walkthrough of the Star Wars Battlefront campaign, and the story just didn't do that much for me. So I was playing the online multiplayer until they screwed it up with that update, and then I just left it alone. I had no interest in playing it again. And so another thing, I was truly touched. I saw the Corey Barlog reaction video when he saw the Metacritic score on God of War, and he broke down in tears. Um, yeah, it touched me. It made my eyes water, and I thought that was a wonderful. I thought that was a wonderful video, and I even commented on the video and congratulated him, and said I had me or my PlayStation haven't gotten much sleep since the game came out, and the comment got a like, so I thought that was pretty cool. But you could tell by his reaction how much they put into that game. I think him and his whole development team put their heart and soul in that game, and the game is just so complete. The amazing graphics, the attention to detail, the gripping story, um, the upgrades that add value to it. Oh, that's hey, I hope you're serious about that, Fatal. I mean, that's you sent him a tweet thanking him, and he replied back, "Thank you." That's it. If you're serious about that, that's pretty cool. Savage, you lost interest in Star Wars Battlefront 2 after you read EA's post on Reddit. Um, yeah, I mean, first I was interested in buying Star Wars Battlefront. Then when I saw the shit that they were trying to pull with the the pay to win progression system, then I had no interest in buying the game. And then when they saw what an uproar it cost, and then Disney had to step in and say something to them, and then they killed the microtransactions. Then I went ahead and felt like, okay, that's the green light for me to go ahead and buy the game. And so I stopped playing the game when they ran an update through there, and changed the whole complexion of the game. So now this minigun that I was basically using as a street sweeper and shooting everything in sight, uh, instead of a 20 second discharge time, it was cut down to about 5 seconds. So to me, the minigun was virtually useless if you could only fire it for 5 seconds. It takes that long to hold the gun. So I lost total interest in it. So now that I'm not gonna be on much longer. I'm only gonna be on like another 10 or 15 minutes because I have to be at work at 6. And I felt like I had to do something because I didn't make that impressions video like I said I was gonna do. But there was basically two big factors why that video didn't get done. One is that I spent a whole lot of time playing God of War. I spent my whole weekend playing God of War. It was, God of War, eating shit, so that was my weekend. And like I said, because I didn't have the God of War music at my disposal, I don't feel like I would have been able to do a proper video, and it would do the game a disservice if I didn't put together which I think would have been a halfway decent looking game. Um, yeah, you playing God of War now? Believe me, I would love nothing better than to pick up that phone right now and tell them that I'm not coming to work in the morning so I can keep playing God of War and stay up all night doing it. But I need to get to sleep. And then when I get out of work, I'm going straight to the gym, and then I got to come home and get everything ready in terms of the questions because I forgot to mention that that's the other reason why I'm having this podcast right now. I'm having another special edition of the Lincoln Show on tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern, and my guest is going to be Craig Harris. So barring something unforeseen, he will be my guest tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I definitely wanted to get this live stream out so I can let everybody know that he's going to be on tomorrow. And he's a gamer and a movie buff, so I think he's pretty professional. I think he's pretty down to earth, and it'll be interesting to see what his mindset is on the gaming industry and the movie industry, because he's definitely a comic book movie buff, just like me. So I definitely want to ask him a few comic book questions. So make sure you check that out. And then Titanfall Princess, if you happen to see this live stream or whatever, I will be in touch with you tomorrow so we can figure out when you can come on through. So that's pretty much it. You want to know what Craig has to say about Infinity War? Hey, I'll definitely ask him. That's a question that I'll ask him because that movie is coming out this Friday, and I'm definitely taking my son to see that movie this Friday. I cannot wait. So this week is going to be a great week in terms of me, playing God of War, and then going into this weekend to see the Infinity War. So, but that, for the most part, that was about it. I just, more than talk about the game, I just wanted to express how happy I am that God of War had the success it did for this weekend. And I think this game is going to do great numbers. On the PlayStation Plus podcast early this morning, oh, he already seen it but can't talk about it yet, huh? Oh, that's slick. So I guess I'll just keep the questions in as such that he won't spill out anything. I'll put it that way. But I said it before, and I'll say it again. We need these single player games to thrive. You have people like EA and Microsoft wanting these multiplayer games so they can, have reoccurring revenue so they can keep making money and keep making money, that little funky updates here and there, but for the most part, still making money off the same old game 3 years from now or something like that. Um, so I really appreciate that Sony has made the kind of games that they make, and I really appreciate that they're going to double down on these single player games. Okay, then I'll just ask him if he liked the movie for the most part. So I won't ask him to go into detail or say anything that could spoil it. So I'll just ask him, if he liked the movie. As far as the other Marvel movies, or even some of the DC movies, I might want to ask him, how accurate are some of these real life movies based on the comic book story, which I know which ones are and which ones aren't because I'm a big comic book buff myself. But with me being a host and him coming on as a guest, I definitely want to get his take on some of this stuff. So, with that being said, I think that I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because it's quarter after 12. And even though I should be in bed by now, I think I'm going to take about a half an hour to watch a couple of YouTube videos myself before I call it a night, because I still like to be entertained as far as YouTube goes. I still like to be entertained as well. So when I'm not, making videos or doing live streams, I watch YouTube to help me get through my day. So thanks for checking this out. And if you haven't played God of War yet, and it's a game you're definitely curious about, I highly recommend this game. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. Everything about this game is just great. The graphics, the detail. Yo, yo, yo. Hey, young lady. I was Titanfall Princess. Yo, yo, yo. I had just mentioned you. I am going to contact you tomorrow. Basically, Craig Harris is going to come on tomorrow, and I'm looking to see if you're going to be available Thursday. So Thursday is 8 o'clock is what I'm shooting for. So without a doubt, I think you coming on with the kind of questions that I have up lined up, I think you have the potential to be the most interesting guest on the show, because the landscape has definitely changed, from a while ago. But yeah, I see everybody saying peace out, stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Feta Mephisto, the Canadian Grizzly Bear, you have a good night. Uncompetitive, you have a good night. Titanfall Princess, you have a good night. Savage, you have a good night. And everybody who's watching, have a good night. If you happen to catch this on a replay, thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a like on the way out. And I'm gonna get ready to watch a couple of YouTube videos, and then I'm calling it a night. Make sure you catch me tomorrow at 8 o'clock with Craig Harris. It's going to be a great show. And I think that's going to wrap it up for me. I'll holler at y'all later, everybody. It's your boy Lincoln Clay, and I'm out of here.